Good evening and welcome to our Good Friday service. Tonight we will be sharing the metaphysical meaning behind the 7 final words attributed to Jesus. Metaphysically, we do not view the crucifixion of Jesus as a tragedy, but as a step toward a great victory. In its purest form, Jesus, in his words, tells us the message of the crucifixion is perfectly clear. Teach only love, for that is what you are. That's Jesus' message. Teach only love, for that is what you are. There are many aspects of the crucifixion story that we could focus on. We could talk about the seeming betrayal by Judas, the selfish and ego-driven side of life that Judas represents can appear to betray the spiritual Christ nature in all of us. We must, though, remember that Judas was simply playing a part as a catalyst so that Jesus could demonstrate the unreality of death, the illusion. We could go into detail about how Pontius Pilate believed he had any power over the situation, ultimately demonstrating that there is no power in external circumstances. The only power lies within God. However, we will focus on the 7 last statements made by Jesus as found in the 4 Gospels, which are each condensed metaphysically. And they offer realizations of truth, helpful guides for our continued spiritual growth. This is a meditative service, and there will be music woven throughout. We have 7 candles in the front of at the front of the lectern here, and we will be lighting one for each of the 7 words. We will share a reading followed by an affirmation that you will be invited to speak. Then we will sing together a verse of the Karen Drucker song, In the Stillness. After each reading, we will read and repeat the affirmations, and Julie will guide you through the verses of the song. We are so grateful for our guest musicians tonight. They've come from Coeur d'Alene to do our music. This is Julie Croteau and Leanne Erlin Moore. I would like to invite Julie and Leanne to begin with our opening song, Come to the Water.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you. Now I can clean this up.
Let them come.
find rest except for the Lord thy God. And let all the poor, let them come to the water. Bring the ones who are laden, bring them all to the Lord. Bring the children without might. Easy the load and light. Come to the Lord, the Come to the water. Come to the Lord.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's take a moment now to breathe as we center ourselves in the one presence and one power. As we give thanks and open our hearts on this blessed and bittersweet day of completion, the human tragedy and the spiritual victory. We open our hearts in gratitude as we bring into our mind's eye something or someone that we deeply appreciate. And in doing this, we create a coherent, energetic field of oneness in harmony and peace. As we remain in this peaceful state, we begin with the first word. I am going to light the candle for forgiveness. Maybe. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. This is forgiveness based on understanding. One of the most destructive emotions that holds us back is our reluctance to forgive those who have harmed us. Everyone meets injustice time and time again. We ourselves have also been unjust. Sometimes we mistake a person's motive and condemn where no condemnation is deserved. Sometimes, in seeking our own ends, we trample on another's rights. Sometimes the situation is reversed, and we feel oppressed. We cannot forgive in this human consciousness, but we can rise to a higher state of mind and let the forgiving love of Christ move through us. At this moment, let us forgive all toward whom we feel any resentment. Forgiveness is one of the essentials of a loving consciousness and is necessary to our growing spiritual unfoldment. We cannot progress with antagonism in our heart toward anyone. Let us pray silently. The Christ in me forgives and forgets all human hurts. I freely forgive, even as I ask God to forgive my own trespasses. And truly there is light in the darkness. So I ask you to join me in this one and just repeat after me. We'll just start with, I freely forgive, even as I ask God to forgive my own trespasses. Together, I freely forgive, even as I ask God to forgive my own trespasses. And truly there is light in the darkness. Together, and truly there is light in the darkness.
Let us sing together. In the stillness of this moment, I forgive. In the stillness of this moment, I forgive. I forgive. In the stillness of this moment, I forgive. I forgive. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I forgive.
Whoop. So the second word, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. Jesus was crucified between two others. One of them reviled him, saying, Art thou not the Christ? Save thyself and us. The other declared that they were being punished for their sins, but that this man has done nothing amiss. Turning to Jesus, he said, Jesus, remember me when thou comest in the kingdom. To this man, Jesus made the promise, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. There is a great spiritual truth contained in these words. No matter what we have done or how far short of the spiritual ideal we have fallen, when we turn to Christ, the promise of redemption is made. This is the grace of God. In any period of trial, we take the attitude of condemnation and resistance, or admitting our mistakes and asking for forgiveness. Asking for forgiveness is always forthcoming. God is love. So I'd like you to repeat after me with this one. This is a short one. In faith, I turn to Christ. Together, I turn to Christ and enter into the realization that this day I am one with my good. And enter into the realization that this day I am one with my good. Oh. I light this candle.
Let us sing together about faith. In the stillness of this moment, I have faith. I have faith. In the stillness of this moment, I that in the stillness of this moment I have faith.
Now, Churl is going to come up and light the third candle for us. You've got your mic over there.
The third word. Woman, behold thy son. John, behold thy mother. Mary, the mother of Jesus, and John, the disciple whom Jesus particularly loved, stood at the foot of the cross. Jesus never permitted human devotion to turn him aside from the work that he came here to accomplish. Even as a child of 12 years old, he informed the parents, the world, I must be in my Father's house, Luke 2:49. However, he recognized his personal obligations, and after the passing of Joseph, he fulfilled his duty to his mother by placing her in the care of John. Tradition says that Mary lived with John for the rest of her life. There are those who do have rightful claims on our care, on our love, and on our protection. We are responsible to help them. However, some people make this a burden on themselves, and others shirk their duty. Jesus did neither. He had found that perfect balance between the care, love, responsibility for those that he loved, and the human work that he came to accomplish. Let us pray silently. I fulfill every obligation wisely, lovingly, with gratitude and joy. Will you say that with me? I will say the first part again, and then you say it with me. I fulfill every obligation wisely, lovingly. I fulfill every obligation wisely and lovingly, with gratitude and joy, with gratitude and joy.
Let us sing about being clear. In the stillness of this moment, I am clear. I am clear. In the stillness of this moment, I am clear. I am clear. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am clear.
The fourth statement of Jesus, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? At the 6th hour, there was darkness all over the land. For almost 3 hours, no word came from the cross, and then Jesus spoke. We should remember that the crucifixion represents the crossing out of that which belongs to the mortal state of mind, an opening to the divine. And this Jesus showed us how to do. He is the divine expression itself through the human, and we cannot go forth without redeeming, without giving up the mortal beliefs. In the fourth word, Jesus gave expression to the fourth false belief of the human consciousness that God has forsaken it. He cried out again, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? That Jesus would say this brings him very near to us. His cry expresses the accumulated distress in the hour of need, when the soul feels itself forsaken. He gave voice to this false belief and showed all men how to get rid of it. The words, my God, why hast thou forsaken me, are from the basic teachings Jesus had learned when he was a youth. They are the opening words of the 22nd Psalm. This psalm depicts the experience on a cross. A company of evildoers have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and feet. They stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among themselves, and for my clothing they cast lots. But you, O Lord, do not be far away. O my help, come quickly to my aid. While this psalm is a cry of suffering, it is also a cry of deliverance, rising to this realization. In you our ancestors trusted. They trusted in you, and you rescued them. To you they cried out, and they were saved. In you they trusted, and they were not disappointed. This is from Psalms 22. For he had not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither had he hid his face from him. But when he cried unto him, he heard. In repeating the opening words of the 22nd Psalm, it was as if Jesus took the human consciousness and lifted it up to the realization of the omnipresence of love. Let us speak now the words that bring to our remembrance the truth that God is ever with us. You repeat after me. Divine love comforts me. Together. Divine love comforts me. And its saving power strengthens me in this hour. Together. And its saving power strengthens me in this hour.
Let us sing of love. In the stillness of this moment, there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment, there is love, there is love, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, there is love. I light this candle for the fifth word, I thirst. The fifth word was, I thirst. The one merciful act shown Jesus while he was on the cross was the sponge soaked with vinegar that a Roman soldier raised to his lips. The body must be released from its attachment to the physical and be known for what it really is, the temple of the living God, sustained by the living water of Spirit. Jesus' mind was dwelling on the scriptures, as the fifth word would seem to indicate. The cry, I thirst, is thought to have been a reference to the 143rd Psalm. My soul thirsts after thee, as a weary land. Make haste to answer me, O Jehovah. The rest of the psalm is a testimonial to faith in God. By expressing the physical suffering of humanity and rising above it, Jesus released mankind from bodily pain. Even as our body cries, I thirst, there is with us now a realization that we may taste of the living water and be revived. Let us speak the word for healing. Please speak after me. I drink of the living water of Spirit. Together. I drink of the living water of Spirit, and every need of my body is fulfilled. Together. And every need of my body is fulfilled. Let us sing now of being filled. In the stillness of this moment, I am filled. I am filled. In the stillness of this moment, I am filled. I am filled. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am filled.
The sixth word is, it is finished. Almost immediately after the preceding two cries, Jesus lifted his consciousness to spiritual heights as he cried, it is finished. God's work has been completed from the beginning. We live now in that perfect universe which is the creation of divine mind. Nothing that we can say or do changes the truth that in God we live and move and have our being. We need not strive or struggle or painstakingly attempt to establish perfection in our lives. It comes outwardly as the result of our realization that we are made in God's own image. It remains for us to behold Spirit's finished creation. Let us be still and know I am created perfect, whole, complete, and the work is finished. I praise and give thanks as I behold his perfection in my mind, body, and affairs. So let's do this together. I am created perfect, whole, and complete. Together. I am created perfect, whole, and complete. And the work is finished. And the work is finished. I praise and give thanks as I behold his perfection. I praise and give thanks as I behold his perfection in my mind, body, and affairs.
In my mind, body, and affairs.
It is finished.
Okay. Let us sing of being one. In the stillness of this moment, I am one. I am one. In the stillness of this moment, I am one. I am one. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am one.
The seventh word. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. The seventh and last statement is the complete surrender of Jesus to his Creator. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. The whole of our training spiritually is to enable us to come to this point in complete surrender, the giving of ourselves into God's hands. When we cast aside the mortal self, we give spirit room to move through us. Less of me and more of thee is the equation for solving all human problems. Let my ego be silenced that your voice may speak through me. I love that. Let my ego be silenced that your voice may speak through me. The time to choose divine help can be any time, now or sometime in the future, for help is always waiting for us to ask. And when we choose to avail ourselves of what is given us, then we see each situation which we previously thought had means to justify our anger suddenly turn into an event that justifies our love. We now hear clearly that the calls we previously heard as ones of anger and fear are truly calls of peace. We find that times we have felt we were being attacked are now areas to build an altar, and just as easily we find happiness and the path to forgiveness. And we reinterpret times of pain and betrayal as another chance to bring us new life and joy. We will now come forward to serve communion. I invite each of you, if you choose, to partake of communion with our bread and wine, which is grape juice and crackers, gluten-free crackers, just so you know. As you come forward, we are offering a silent blessing to each of you. So please come forward in the group you're sitting with, and we'll just, as one group moves through, let the next person start. And I think, why don't we start with Terry and Claire. As you come forward, we are offering a silent blessing to each of you. And then you take your wine and bread back to your seat with you. And when everyone is ready, we will join together in prayer. Get Cheryl. Join God. Communion is a holy time of experiencing our common union with all of life, our divine connection with each other and with Spirit. It is a sacred ritual that honors the deepening of the conscious awareness of our divine heritage. The act of consuming divine substance, symbolized by the bread or cracker, and spiritual life, represented by the juice of the grape, reinforces that understanding. We come together in the name and nature of the Christ Spirit that is alive in each and every one of us. Communion symbolizes our very being, the life and the essence of the divine. When we ingest nourishment, it is incorporated into our bodies and becomes part of our physical life. Our bodies are spiritual substance made manifest. And Jesus said, "Take this cup, all of you, and drink of it. This shall be the cup of my remembrance. This is the cup of the blessing of a new dispensation of grace and truth. This shall be to you the new emblem of the bestowal and ministry of the divine Spirit of truth. I will not again drink this cup with you until I drink in new form with you in the Father's eternal kingdom." He then took up the bread, and after giving thanks, broke it and said, "Take this bread of remembrance and eat it. I have told you I am the bread of life, and this bread is the united life of the Father and the Son in one gift. The word of the Father, as revealed in the Son, is indeed the bread of life. So as you eat, know that you are partaking of spiritual substance and embodying the truth of who you are. It represents the invisible essence of mind out of which all things are made. Feel the creative power within you as you experience your oneness with the mind of God. By partaking of this bread, you become one with the living substance of universal mind. As we join together in communion with each other and with the deeper intelligence of the heart, we give thanks for the reality of overcoming. No matter what the crucifixion experience may be that we have gone through, the reality is that we are deeply connected, one with Spirit. And for this truth, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. The last words attributed to Jesus can provide for us a pathway to follow in order to realize that oneness. Forgiveness, forgiving ourselves and others. Renewal, letting the power of Spirit lift and renew us. Responsibility, taking responsibility for what is ours to do. Love, letting love strengthen us as we let go of limiting beliefs. Fulfillment allows the living waters of Spirit to bring forth a deep fulfillment. Wholeness, expressing the divine blueprint of wholeness that dwells within us. And surrender, with deep gratitude, surrendering to a greater mind. Aside from the 7 words we spoke about this evening, we also have one more. Resurrection. Resurrection, rising from whatever has gone before, becomes possible for us as we follow this path. Okay, on this, we have love offering down, but we don't do that in these days of COVID. But if you are so moved, there is a big glass vase, I guess it is, in the bowl in the back of the sanctuary, and your gifts are graciously appreciated. So we will end our service today by singing together this song, Holy, Holy Way. Thank you for joining our Good Friday service.
Please sing with me. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love